Hey, John here. Today we're going to be looking at why your website isn't converting. So you're probably in a position that most people are, whereby their website is now getting a little bit of traffic. You've been set up for a little while, but for some reason that traffic you're getting isn't converting into anything tangible. So whether that be a sale, if you're a store, or maybe a lead or someone getting in contact for a quote, for some reason people just aren't taking that action. They look and then they leave. We're going to look at the most common reasons why websites don't convert, and it'll help you understand why yours isn't converting so that you'll be able to make changes and therefore help your website convert better. And before we get started, I just want you to know that my company is giving away free marketing strategy audits. So by all means, watch this video, see if you can apply it yourself. But if you still feel lost at the end, you can apply via a link in the description below for a free marketing strategy audit, and we'll go through your website with you, take a look at everything, and then give bespoke feedback as to what we think you need to do for improving the conversions on your website. Entirely free, links below, but let's jump into the video. So the first reason that websites don't usually convert very well, and this is sort of the core reason, is offers. And this is really basic. It goes beyond your website. This will apply to all strands of your marketing. So there's a bit of a bonus here. If this isn't necessarily specific to your website and you find that you're struggling in other areas as well, it's probably because of your offers. What I mean by offers, it's not like buy one, get one free, although it could be, I suppose, if you're an e-com store. It's something along the lines of your website is probably saying at present, buy now, maybe it's saying contact us, it's saying get in touch. It's something very, very, very broad, general, not very enticing, something that everyone has. What you want is an unbelievably compelling offer that someone cannot turn down. And if you're not getting good conversions on your website, this is probably the primary reason that's the case. All the other points I'm going to go through are going to make tweaks, but they're smaller tweaks. This is the one that makes the biggest difference. So what's an enticing offer? Let's say you are a company that provides consulting to someone or something like that. You've got the standard call to action where it just says contact us in a little box, right? Or you might have get in touch, or you might have something a little bit more light-hearted. What you want to do is you want to change that for something really appealing. So instead of just get in touch, you say, claim your free consulting session right now. And on this consulting session, you're going to learn how to bam, 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 bam. And you list the benefits of that next step. All you're trying to do on the website is sell in the next step of the process. You're not trying to sell your whole service. Some instances maybe you are, but you're trying to sell in the next step of the process. So what you want to do is you want to make that next step really benefit the person, and you want to load it with a load of value to that person. So things like free audits, free consultation sessions. Maybe if you're a restaurant or something, you could have a free voucher. So come in and get a free dessert for something that's genuinely very, very enticing. And if you swap that out, you'll see a massive increase in conversion rates literally overnight. And obviously that's going to compound over time. And the second point is people just not understanding what it is you do. So this is very common in B2B, not as common in B2C, although it can apply to both. An example of this would be someone gets onto your website. You've probably done this before. You go onto someone's website, you've scrolled all the way down their homepage, and you still don't genuinely fully understand what it is they do. The reason is the website is full of all these wishy-washy, blue sky thinking phrases that sound kind of good or sounded good in a meeting when you all got together, but to someone external, they are not tangible enough to actually clearly state what it is you do. On your website, you want the messaging to be very, very basic and very to the point, as if someone hasn't got a clue who you are, because in a lot of instances they probably won't. They just want a little bit more information. So make sure that someone external from your organization or your company can look at that website and understand what it is you do. Nothing overcomplicated, nothing blue sky. Be very, very to the point and very plain in the way you speak. And the third point is basically narcissism. This is huge, and it's something that a lot of people fall into, but they think they're not doing, but they are doing, okay? Basically, your website and your whole service, again, all this applies to broader marketing, it's not just to websites. Your service is there to provide something to someone else. Someone is coming to you because they have a problem and they want that problem resolved. You are potentially the solution. But what you're doing on your website is you're talking about yourself because you think that's what you need to do. You need to sell yourself. You're not talking about the person who's reading it and their problems. Now that's a very fine line, but by switching that perspective, you get someone on board because they feel that you understand them and you can help them. If you're just talking about yourself, it's like walking into a bar, seeing someone you like, going up to them and then just in their face, just vomiting up how amazing you are as a person. No one's going to take that very well. They're going to think you're a narcissistic person. What would be nice is if you went up to someone, were a bit entertaining, interesting, and then you can build something from there. That's the best analogy I can think of for this, okay? So how are ways that you can identify if you're being overly narcissistic? The first is if all of your messaging just lists your services, says when you started, how long you've been going, all the awards you've got, like all this stuff, it's all about you and how amazing you are, then you have a narcissistic website. If your website is all about the person reading it, so it says you are going to get XYZ from using our service. It talks about the benefits. So the benefits of using our service for you are going to use XYZ. The use of language signifies whether you're being narcissistic or not. If there's a you repeated over and over on your website, you're speaking to the person. If it's we, our throughout your whole website, you're being narcissistic. So that's another massive key point, and shifting that focus will help conversions on your website. Point 4 is video. So video is an amazing tool for increasing the trust someone has with you and your company and your product or service. And those 3 elements of trust are what's going to make someone commit to an interaction with you. Video, as long as it's done correctly and falls in line with all the other points I've been saying, if you made a video and it was very narcissistic and it had a poor offer, it probably wouldn't work. But if you had a video that shows you or someone in your organization on the screen, they can tell you're a tangible person, you explain it to them, they feel like there's a human connection that you can't get by simply having still images on a website. So the use of video can massively increase the conversion rates of your website. Definitely worth looking into if you're not using one already. And the last point is you're missing key elements on your website. So there are loads of different elements that your website needs to be able to gradually increase the percentage conversion rate. And each one of these elements you have on your website might add 2 or 3% increase in the chance of you converting someone. Obviously, if you add all those up, they compound and then they work together to massively increase your conversion rates. And you might have some of these in place already, you might be missing some of them. High level, I'm going to go over everything. The first is a guarantee. So your website should contain some sort of guarantee. The reason you want a guarantee is it is a risk for someone to get in contact with you and use your services. All of the risk is put on them, not on you. By you having a guarantee, you take that risk away from them and you put it onto yourself, which lowers the barrier of entry for someone getting into contact with you because there's less for them to lose. So a guarantee can be anything like if you use our services and get nothing back, you get your money back. If you buy our product and don't like it, send it back, you get your money back. Money back guarantees are really strong. Anything like that, it's going to be very specific to your business, but guarantees are fantastic, so I'd look into getting one of those. The next thing is social proof. So social proof would be things like having awards on your websites or testimonials. You need those things. So when I said earlier about narcissism, don't get me wrong, you need an element of it, but that should be a section of your website, not everything that it's based on. Social proof is very powerful. People need to understand that other people have used you and that they have had a good time using your service. So yeah, you need social proof. The best way to do social proof is with video testimonials. And they don't have to be shot professionally. In fact, in some ways, they shouldn't be shot professionally. Have someone shoot them on a phone, do a Zoom meeting and put that up. It feels way more authentic. So yeah, social proof, you need other people talking about your service. Also bonuses. So if you have a really compelling offer, you can make that offer even more compelling by adding bonuses. So let's say you're a consultant and your call to action is something like have a free consultation session whereby we go through and then you list what you're going to go through and the benefits the person's going to get. You can also say, additionally, when you sign up, you get immediate access to a free guide on something that would interest them and a free spreadsheet template on how to organize your business. They're not necessarily things that are required for the person to get in touch with you, but they are a nice little bonus and they're going to sweeten the deal. By doing that, again, you're increasing your conversion rate. Also, you want repeated call to action. So one call to action on the website, probably not going to go anywhere, especially if it's at the top because no one knows enough, right? What you want to do is you want to have call to actions throughout the website regularly. So every page length, that's a length of a screen here, you want to repeat the call to action again. So you want it over and over and over again. And that means different people are going to interact with websites in different ways. Not everyone's the same. And different people might make that decision to get in contact with you at different times. You want the option to always be there. So repeat your call to actions throughout, especially at the bottom as well. And finally, another element, there are more elements and I can run through these on that free marketing strategy audit I was talking about, but the last one is scarcity. So there has to be some sort of limit to what it is you're giving away, because if it's in complete abundance, there's no reason for anyone to take action right now. And trust me, I've tested this on a lot of ad campaigns. Ads which have an element of scarcity, i.e. they only last for a limited period of time, there's only a limited amount that can be given away, or things like that, perform way better. I'm talking like 2 to 3 times better, maybe even 4 times better than ads that are exactly the same, which just don't have an element of scarcity. How do you generate scarcity? Scarcity should be genuine, so don't fake it. And it should be something along the lines of, we can only give away X amount of this offer. We only have space for X amount of new clients per month. We only have space for X amount of free audits per month, consultations, whatever it may be. But that number needs to be genuine. And you should have a limit to what that is. You just need to explain that to the person. And that again will increase the likelihood of them converting, because they realize they need to take action right now. So in conclusion, there's a lot you can do to increase the conversion rate on your website. The most powerful thing you can do is simply to change the offer on your website. That's going to make the most immediate impact, and it's the quickest thing you can do. You probably don't really massively need to change your website, you just need to change some copy. Beyond that, you want to make sure that your messaging is very clear. People understand what it is you do off the bat. You want to make sure your website isn't narcissistic, so you want to make sure it's about the person reading it, not about you. You want to make sure you're using video, but using it well. Just using video doesn't tick the box. You need to do it properly. And then you need to have elements, like key elements in there. So guarantees, social proof, bonuses, repeated call to actions, and scarcity. There is more to it than that, don't get me wrong. I could do a whole hour-long video on those elements, but you need to make sure you have all that stuff. Now, as I mentioned at the very start of the video, my company is giving away free marketing strategy audits, whereby we will go through everything you're doing at present, help you figure out what you can do to make that approach more efficient, and then look at where you're going in terms of your goals and help you set out a marketing plan. The call is entirely free. It's 60 to 90 minutes with myself. The only thing you need to do to get that call is to apply via the link on the website, which is linked in the description. Now, we do genuinely only give away about 2 to 3 of these a week, because they take quite a lot of time. There's research that needs to be done ahead of time, and obviously the calls take some time as well. So if you apply and you don't get through, apologies, but we do genuinely have limited spaces. But make sure you apply for that if you do want a little bit of extra help. I really hope you have enjoyed this video and you found it useful. Make sure you press like and subscribe to make sure you see more of this content, because it should help you with your marketing and your business.